This is task 4G, which is the user guide. Now you may be completing this user guide without having completed some of the parts earlier, and that's absolutely fine because some of the things don't actually require you to have completed the whole task. For example, viewing room reservations, well, if your form wasn't perfect, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use screenshots of every single part of the form. Using the menu, that's straightforward. Starting the system, opening the software, that's straightforward. Printing the deposit reminders, that was just about clicking on a button. There shouldn't be anything else that's required other than doing that. You don't need to show a screenshot of what they look like. And creating a new reservation, well, even if you didn't get the append queries to work or anything, you would have at least got the form there with the 4 fields: the check-in date, the checkout date, the visitor drop-down box, and the room drop-down box. So that's all you need for your screenshots. In fact, the drop-down boxes don't even need to work for your screenshots. So let's just start with a few basics. So you're going to be calling this a user guide, but what's it a user guide for? It's obviously a hotel reservation system. And who's the company? Well, it's Lamplighters College. Now, do we need to follow a house style? It's not essential. We were asked to follow a house style for the forms, but we weren't asked to follow a house style for this. So I'm just going to use Microsoft Word's built-in styles like this, although I might make these centered as well for the title page. Now, title page is absolutely essential. Never used to be required by OCR, but they suddenly started adding it on. After our title page, we then need a contents page. So I'm going to put on here contents, and we'll move on and look at some of the other things that we need to include, like an introduction. Some people call it an overview. We need to have software requirements, and we need to have hardware requirements. Now you can actually put these as the same thing, it doesn't matter. We'll need to have our instructions, we'll need to have a glossary, we'll need to have a troubleshooting section, and we'll need, well, that's the end. You can have an index, but an index takes quite a long time to produce, so I wouldn't worry too much about an index. But because we've got a contents page, we also need to have page numbers. So what I'm going to do is put a footer into here. So we'll go for a footer, and we can just select one of these which has got page numbers on it like that. That's it, that's put the page numbers on it. You might also want to put your candidate number on it, so candidate number like that, and you might want to have a title saying user guide, and we've got things set up there. I'll probably put that into the normal style because it's our normal text. Probably means that my tabs have disappeared. That's alright, because we'll just put them in manually like that. It doesn't need to be specifically perfect. So each of these titles are my main headings, so I'm going to put those in main heading styles, which means now that when I put my contents page in, it will pick up all of these. Well, I'm going to have these on a new page, my software requirements and hardware requirements. Control Enter if you haven't done it before. Instructions will be on a new page, my glossary and troubleshooting, possibly on the same page. We'll see how it goes. So here's my contents, and so what we're going to do, go to References, Table of Contents, and put in an automatic table. Now I'll need to remove these 3 bits at the top, and I'll probably need to remove them again when I update it, because as we put more information in there, it will need updating, and you just select right hand click update field. So your introduction is just going to be a general introduction to what the user guide is about, and it's basically what's written here, but just written in your own words. We then move on to the software requirements and hardware requirements. Well, one of the software requirements was that we had Access 2013. That's what we've used for it. And in order to use Access 2013, we will need Windows 7. So now we come on to the hardware requirements. What hardware is needed to run Windows 7 and Access 2013? Well, if we have a look on the net, I've done a search for Windows 7 requirements. Here we go, Windows 7 system requirements. So I can have a look at those and I can pick out the key information that's needed. I'm going to need a 1 gigahertz processor. I'm going to need 1 gigabyte of RAM. I'm going to need 16 gigabytes of hard disk space and a DirectX 9 graphics. Also, I'm going to need a mouse and a keyboard. So let's not forget those. Do I need a printer? Yes, we do, because we need to be able to print the reminder letters. So we also need a printer. Now we need to also check, what does Access require? So I'm going to put in here Access 2013 requirements, and we need to have a look and see how that links in with Windows 7 and merge the two together. So we'll just click on that. That might take a little while because I'm running on a 4G connection at the moment. Sky have messed up my but if we have a look and see what the requirements are, here we go. Okay, 1 gigahertz, that's fine. Gigabyte of RAM, that's fine, but because we're also using Windows, we probably need to change this to be 2 gigabytes of RAM. We need 3 gigabytes of hard disk. Well, we had 16 before, so now we need 19. Display, DirectX 10, so we need to improve this from 9 to 10. And that's about all that we need to worry about. So that's our software requirements and our hardware requirements.